Listening is hard. We all say we know how to listen and what listening involves, but listening can be one of the hardest communication practices that we do. So I want to take the next 5 minutes to think about your listening. Listening is especially challenging when we are facing 3 conditions. First, the other person doesn't see the world the same way that we do. Second, we are interdependent with that person, meaning our ability to be successful in some way is connected to their perspective. And finally, 3, the issue is important or has high stakes. Picture a conflict you have faced with a person that matters to you that meets these 3 conditions. Again, they don't see the world the way you do, you are interdependent with them, and the issue is important. You can use this relationship as we talk through these 4 listening levels, developed by Otto Scharma, move from a somewhat shallow experience to a much deeper level and a more transformative level. Level 1 is downloading. We are very familiar with this level. When you download, you are paying a part of your attention to this other person, but only enough to reinforce what you already know. This type of listening seems very efficient. Your mind actually operates 4 to 5 times faster than you speak. So it seems like you have plenty of time to look at your phone during a conversation. With first level listening, you might finish this other person's sentence for them because you actually already know what they were going to say. The challenge here is that you're probably not going to learn anything new, and your partner will probably feel disrespected or not valued. Now, let's move to the next level, which is factual listening. When you are listening factually, you're not just scanning for what you already know, but you're asking questions to better understand what you don't know. You're trying to clarify. If you can remember being in a class where the teacher gave a review session before the class, you're probably factually listening. Or if you're thinking of a person you're in conflict with and you're trying to better understand their perspective so you can create a better persuasive argument, you're often factually listening. You might learn a little bit, but you have not been moved yourself. The third level is empathic listening. Here, you are starting to connect to the other person in an emotional way, and you're trying to see the conversation from their perspective. You may have heard the expression walking in someone else's shoes, or putting yourself in the shoes of the other person. Here, you notice what is unspoken. You think about the emotions behind the words. Empathic listening is not just important for friendship or family relationships, but is also important in organizations. Finally, the fourth level of listening is the deepest level and potentially most productive. It is called generative listening because it can lead to new ideas and generate solutions that you may have not considered before. If you've had the experience of engaging with someone on a difficult topic where you left the conversation with a stronger relationship and a new way of thinking about the issue, then you may have had the experience of generative listening. It requires you to put aside your own perspective and be open to new ways of seeing a situation. It is in generative listening where you might open yourself to the Holy Spirit and see how grace can enter into your conversation. Your focus here is on the best solution for the relationship, or the team, or the community. You leave the conversation a different person. I have learned a lot about listening over the last 6 months in conversation with my mother as she has developed dementia. But when I listen empathically, at the third level, I imagine the pain she is in. And I often see the fear on her face as she shows glimpses of awareness of what is happening to her. I try to think of my own mom when I listen to other people in my life now. She is still teaching me. Sometimes we are not in a position to listen at all 4 levels, or we aren't ready to be open to another perspective. However, If we can move towards generative listening, we can grow in our relationships and in our communities. Listening starts with curiosity. Listening leads to true dialogue. Are you ready to learn?